Not a criminal attorney, not here to give legal advice, but I am here to give you the real on this Diddy trial. Now, who is David James? David James was a personal assistant of Diddy's from 2007 to 2009. David told the court that he was testifying because he was subpoenaed twice. So let's talk about that for a moment. Sometimes witnesses have a choice to testify, and sometimes they absolutely just don't have a choice. When you have a choice to testify, the government will approach you and say, we would like you to be a witness for our case, and you can say yes. Now, if you refuse to testify, the government can issue a subpoena, and a subpoena is a document that requires you to present yourself in court, meaning if you don't show up, there can be repercussions. One of those repercussions could be being held in contempt of court. And so in this particular instance, David James is basically saying the only reason I'm sitting here on this stand today is because I was subpoenaed. I was forced to come here today to tell my story and to tell you the things that I witnessed while I was a personal assistant for Diddy. Now, David began his testimony by describing what his hiring process was like. It is stated that David became tearful during his testimony. But when describing his hiring process, he said that an executive from Bad Boy Entertaining him told him, "This is Mr. Diddy's kingdom, and we are all here to serve it." David began to break down in tears as he described Bad Boy employees and staff underlying loyalty to Diddy, stating that they all had saw him as a king. David recalled meeting the staffers during his interview in 2007 and stated that one of the female executives left a lasting memory. David also testified that Diddy was surrounded by security staff that all carried legal weapons. He stated that Diddy's head of security, Uncle Paulie, carried a switchblade. When asked what security told him about the job, he stated that security told him to stay in his lane, which he understood to mean to do the job that he was hired to do and only that job. David then recalled the first time he interacted with Cassie while he was a personal assistant for Diddy. He stated that it was in Miami when Diddy rented a yacht to try to impress her. He also stated that while he and Cassie were smoking cigarettes, Cassie said to him, "This is a crazy place." When James asked Cassie why she didn't leave if she thought it was a crazy place, Cassie told him she couldn't because he controls her career, pays her allowance, and pays her rent. David also broke down in tears again when he was describing his second interaction with Cassie. He said they were discussing a track list that she had picked out and was super happy about. David also testified that he overheard Diddy talking to a friend of his about Cassie during a car trip in LA, describing her as his queen and being very moldable. My name is Snipes-Booker, and that is the real on this Diddy trial.